today we are going to be taking all of self-improvement and simplifying it into one principle. Gonna make this as clear as I can to you. That just when I kind of figured this out, just kind of opened my eyes, made so much sense to me, and hopefully make a lot of sense to you. And before we get started, I need you to kind of understand something. So I should say before I get to the punchline, because there's little prerequisites for you to understand. First thing is humans are a little bit different than animals. You may have realized this on your own, but one of those things that makes us different is we have the ability to reflect, to just think about ourselves, and kind of honestly, like you can close your eyes and you can picture yourself in like the corner of the room looking down at yourself. That's something you can do. You can see your own actions from kind of like you're a narrator of a story. You can look down at yourself and see the things that you do, the things that you go about your life, and how other people see you. You can kind of perceive it. It's not perfect exactly. I mean, we get kind of tainted because our own perspective. We might see ourselves in a slightly better light, but we can actually be pretty honest with ourselves and look at ourselves from like a third person narrator type of view. So that first principle, that's one, we can reflect about ourselves and the things that we do, the actions we take, and how we are overall. And that's pretty powerful. Now, with that, we have, human abilities to reflect, and there's other things like conscious imagination, other things that are really cool that we can do. But the other thing is we do have some animal instincts, you should say. I'm not trying to be like a huge debate on like, evolution, humans, separate animals, the whole thing. It's just the real. Okay, we have our animal instincts that there's, I believe, like four main ones. It's the fight or flight. Everyone's heard of those. Fight or flight. So, leaving, and there's feeding, eating, and fudging. Yeah, so that. And those are the four like main ones, are just our animal characteristics, that we have. And examples of these characteristics is at times they were good. I'm sure in the past they served us well, but now we're in the 21st century, baby, and they're kind of there to just keep us alive and surviving, but not thriving, especially where we live in now, America. Don't really need them as much, and honestly, if those things come out too much, you're gonna have a poor lifestyle and not a very good, vibrant life. So we got to use our reflecting abilities to kind of combat our animalistic, things that are instincts that we have, which are not terrible in themselves, and sometimes they're okay. But you gotta understand them. Key concept. Now I share those two prerequisites that I want to get out of the way. But now the key concept, the big punchline, is that all of self-improvement can be kind of summed up into using your higher cognitive abilities, that we have as humans, are using our higher cognitive abilities to kind of outsmart or overcome our more animalistic instincts. So I'll say that again, using our higher cognitive abilities to overcome our more animalistic instincts. So because we can reflect, we can do these cool things, we can imagine, we can actually look at our lives, see, where am I using these things, these animalistic things, the four F's, and how are they kind of manifesting themselves into my life and kind of taking over. And with our reflection, you can kind of see, I wrote down some examples here I have. So like say, for like the feeding one, like you reflect, you realize, I overeat, I eat too much because, survival instincts are we want to eat as much as possible to stay alive, because our body knows like, oh, why there's food, you got to eat because you never know if there's food coming. Obviously, like intellectually, like we're going to have a job, we're going to make some money, we're going to be able to buy food. Like worst case scenario, there's a homeless shelter. Like we will survive. But our little animal instincts, our little lizard brains, monkey brains, whatever you want to call them, they don't know that. Like deep mentally know that, but like your bodies don't really know that. It's kind of crazy. So like that's why you're at a place, maybe a nice function, and you start stuffing your stuff. You eat way too much because your little animal body's just like, we gotta survive. Like there's food now, there may not be food later. Just nom, nom, nom. But obviously you can eat more later, so you don't need it. So you gotta reflect, like, yeah, the times I do that, I overeat. In my house, I have too much stuff, buy groceries, hungry shopping, and I overeat because I think I'm in survival mode. You can reflect on that and you ask, like, why do I overeat? Well, when I'm home, it's just because, like, there's food there. I buy stuff at the grocery store and it's just there. And I just go about my day and it's there. I just pop some brownies in my mouth, little Debbie's you get, some potato chips, or honestly, just anything. You just pop in your mouth because it's there. So you're like, you reflect. Say, I am this way, kind of overeat, ask why. That's a big part. Sometimes you have to get a couple iterations of why in there, asking, why do I overeat? Well, because the food tastes good and, I'm hungry. Well, if you just stop there, like, oh, food tastes good, how do I overcome it? It's not enough. You gotta ask, like, well, it tastes good and, I eat a lot, but why? Well, there's more to it. It's like, well, it's there. And you're like, oh, okay, it's because it's convenient. It's easy to eat a lot because it's always out there. So then with those two things, you're reflecting, you're asking why, kind of paramount the whole reflecting kind of category. But with that, take a little action step, and you realize, okay, so how use your cognitive abilities, like, okay, so how do I not do that? Well, let's see, if I didn't buy this stuff, I didn't have it in the house, I wouldn't eat as much. Ding, ding, ding. So you just literally use your mind to outsmart yourself, your own little animalistic characteristics of trying to survive. Another example, like say you're shy for some sort of thing, you kind of like shying away, you don't want to like say ask your boss for a raise or whatever, because your animalistic, ideas like if you get rejected, if you can't do something, if you fail, then you're gonna die. Like anytime we think like, oh, if you can't do something, you're gonna die. Like, oh, if you can't run away from this cheetah or this other like tribe that's chasing you, you're gonna die. So failure is like rooted in like death. Like that's why we're so scared of failure and messing up. But in reality, none of that's gonna happen. And ask and you shall receive. Like you gotta ask for things. Sorry, excuse me. So how do you overcome it? Yeah, so you reflect like, oh, I'm shying away. I don't want to ask for this raise. You ask why? Well, I just I'm not prepared. I don't really think they'll give it to me. I'm not confident I won't be able to ask for it. I don't actually know if I deserve it. Well, if you don't think you deserve it, then you got to put in the work to first deserve it. But then once you do, then you're just like, I'm going to prepare a little slide deck. I'm going to practice with, a friend to go over talking about it and addressing the situation. You got to use smarter brain to overcome your little monkey brain. And then you prepare and then you hit your ask. Other examples, here's one for teenage guys. Your brain craves sex a lot. And, that leads you to certain 18 plus websites. So you're like, yeah, that happens sometimes. How do I not do this? We ask why, reflect, ask why. Like, why is this happening? Oh, it's super convenient. I just like anytime I feel in a certain way, I just hop on my phone. It's just there. It's just so easy. As soon as I have the desire, it's just right there. So how do I cause friction? And there's also like, if you guys haven't read Atomic Habits, like definitely suggest reading it, because a lot of this stuff I've just thought of, explained, talked about, just comes from these different strategies. You got to put friction. It's one of the ways to get rid of bad habits. So like say this is a case for you, like you're hopping on websites you shouldn't be on. Well, what do? You can download blockers on your phone. You can like give a friend like the password, like so they have the password. Like if you need to do something like, I don't know, like a screen time thing, they're the only ones that like have the passwords. You have to have just causing friction that stops you. So I know I just shared a lot with you. Talking, I know I had to write a journal a lot when I was just thinking of this idea, because just really that's the whole thing is overcoming yourself. You gotta be smarter than you. Obviously, there's a bunch of other tactics and things into like accountability. I'm a Christian, so definitely think God has a big part of their overcoming process. And you're praying about it, but it's just simple. It's just like you really kind of outsmart yourself. You gotta reflect, realize your own tendencies, realize your own shortcomings. Everyone has them. Everyone has their flaws. But then with that, what differentiates people is how they can reflect and be like, I don't really like that about myself. I want to kind of bring that down, deter that. Don't want to do those things anymore. Maybe it's something else like, I reflect that. I want to do more of that. I want to work out more. And you ask why. You gotta make systems, use your brain ahead of time, think like, how do I do this? Make this easy. And once it's set up, you can kind of go in limbo again once you kind of got systems in place. It's hard, not all the time. You're not going to be in the right mental state to like plan out like all these things. So definitely take advantage of it when you are. Recommend having some time for meditation. Just think of reflect, and honestly, it leads us to action steps. I like to leave videos with a little action step. It's kind of a 3-part things you got to do. It's one, reflect on yourself. Think about areas, your shortcomings you have, weaknesses, or things you want to improve on. Reflect, kind of see yourself from the outside in, like it's like you're like viewing down, like you're on your computer playing the video game. You look at your character, look at your stats. How are the stats looking? What are the things you want to improve, or your negative stats that you want to get rid of? And then once you do that, you got to ask, why do I have this negative stat, or why do I want this positive stat? Asking why. If you have a strong enough why, you can get through almost any house. So you need a strong why. This is something I've just listened to some podcasts like talking about going over your whys, and even I need to spend more time cultivating a stronger why, because it really is, their why is so important. It'll help you get through setting up the systems and do all that. So reflect, get some sort of why, and you have to dig a little deep, and you gotta get your shovel out, dig to find your underlying why. There's a couple basic ones that you gotta dig down to first. Once you do that, you reflect, you ask why you want to do this thing or not do this other thing, and then the third thing, most important, because if you do those things but don't take any action, nothing's going to happen. Nothing changes. If nothing changes, is once you do that, you got to build the habits or systems in place to help you get there. James Clear, Atomic Habits. Rise to love your goals. You fall level of your systems. So coming up with systems to keep you in place on where you want to go, like floors. Don't want to build floors, not ceilings. If you like floors to fall onto, like bare minimum of things you're going to do that'll help you reach your goal. It may take longer, but if you just set these lofty ceilings, lofty goals, then you'll never reach there, because you need these things. So reflect, ask why, build systems, or at least, you know, put in the work of why you're doing these things. And then there you go. That's how you make improvement. And there's some iterations. You could be doing that after a little while. You're doing something. Maybe you mess up and you ask, why did I mess up? And then you can dig a little deeper, like, oh, well, back to our food example. Like, well, I got the food out of the house that was unhealthy, but, you know, when I'm driving back from work, it's like my job's right, you know, next to like a Wendy's or something like that. And then I stop in there. Well, then you have to, because of that why, you think like, how do I deter that thing? And you just get deeper and deeper and better in your self-improvement journey. Just keeps going on. It's a journey, not a destination. No, another cringy quote, but it's true. So kind of a longer video, I feel like, but yeah, it was really good. Haven't made a good in-depth video in a minute. So hopefully you enjoyed. Put a like, whatever you want to do, comment what you're going to reflect on and change. And with that, remember, the best is yet to come. Peace out.